Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight out of Cincy, baby. All right, as you know, last weekend, the Bengals, in my opinion, stole T. Higgins in the second round. He's first-round talent, but there were so many wide receivers, somebody's going to drop, and luckily, he dropped to the Bengals. And the really cool thing is, he's a huge Bengals fan. He loves A.J. Green. Now he gets to play with him. And it's come out today that the 85 tradition will continue. T. Higgins will be wearing 85. Can't stop 85. All right, quoting Higgins here. I can't wait to put on the number after a weekend of texting A.J. Green and DMing Chad Johnson. Now, this is Chad. It's an honor for him to wear 85. Now, as Bengals fans know, 85, we got a pretty good tradition of really good players wearing 85. Now, it started with the great Isaac Curtis. Then it went from him to Tony McGee, who was in the 88 Super Bowl. Then, Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. And last but not least, Ty Eifert. Now you say Ty Eifert, well, he wasn't a great player. When he was healthy, he was one of the best tight ends in football. So I like to look at it when he was healthy. So anyway, quoting Chad. It's amazing. Now Chad is very excited about the Bengals draft, like most Bengals fans. I'll do it again here. Quoting Chad Johnson. It's amazing what one draft can do. It can change everything. And I think this one did. He said T Higgins, is a lot like A.J. Green. Same body. He's big. He goes and gets the high ball better than I did. And he's a better route runner than he gets credit for. Now this is total Chad. Defense are going to get tried when they try to cover two tall guys like that. And then you got John Ross running around, which I'm going to get back to this quote. John Ross, yes. I would love to see John Ross running around. The problem is, half the time we don't because he's been hurt. And then when we do watch him run around, I've seen him give up on plays and miss very easy catchable balls. So, John Ross, this is a make or break year for him. I mean, his contract's up. So if he doesn't have an absolute breakout year, he's most likely his last year with the Bengals. Now, he reminds me of the guy we had, Samuels, whatever his name was. He was the one, you see him in all the Bengals highlights where he was running the end zone, he dives, and the player hits him, he flips over and lands on his feet in the end zone. It was number 89. I cannot remember his name, but he was a draft pick that the Bengals took that didn't do anything for the first 2 years. Then the last 2 years of his contract, he actually did something. Not good enough for the Bengals to resign him. I think he went to Minnesota, and I don't even think he's in the league anymore. Unfortunately, Ross is reminding me a lot of him, and I don't think it's not Sanders. Well, I can't think of his name. But anyway, hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully Ross can prove me and prove everybody else wrong. Because, like I said in past shows, with his speed and athletic ability, he could seriously open the top off of a defense. But if you can't stay healthy and you can't catch the ball, it's kind of hard to let you play. All right, getting back to Chad's quote here. So then you got Ross running around. And Tyler Boyd in the middle of the field, I'm excited. Dude, 85, Ocho Cinco, we are all excited about this team. Now, the one thing everybody's, including myself, is not as excited about is the offensive line. Now, I talked a little bit about this yesterday's show. And I really do think that the Bengals think Fred Johnson is going to beat out Bobby Hart for the right tackle. At least I hope so. I hope they're not counting on Bobby Hart to be your right tackle next year. You just got to look at it from this perspective. They're supposed to know more than us. They're the coaches, And if you take out the first, 4 games or first 8 games and just look at the last 8 games, the offensive line got better. So you're going to get Jonah Williams back. And, we have no idea what he's going to be like. He hasn't played in almost a year and a half. So that's kind of iffy, but I really do think he's going to be fine. And he was the number one pick, first-round pick for some reason, because he was the best offensive lineman in the draft last year. So I really do think he's going to solidify that side. They must really know something that we don't know. That's all I can say. Now, this is not the same coaching staff who let Whitworth go for Oboihi, who was a swinging gates. And I will never understand why they did that. At least I'm hoping it's not the same thing. Because that was just unbelievable. I don't know. I still to this day can't believe they did that. Anyway, so we got a linebacking core. I won't say taken care of, but it's filled. We got players who can play, unlike we had last year. And like I said yesterday, to me, this is the make or break year for Zach Taylor. He's got his players. I mean, they have totally revamped this roster from last year to this year. So, put up or shut up, Zach. It's on you now, buddy. All right, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, I got a question to ask you about the draft. How did you guys like the virtual draft compared to, how we normally had it? There's a lot about it that I liked. I really like being able to see every player's reaction with their family around them. You don't always get that in the regular draft. There's guys, to me, that are there at the draft that don't need to be there. To me, it's better for the players. Like say Aaron Rodgers. The year he got drafted, he kept dropping. Just say he wasn't there and he was at his house with his family and got to watch it there. It would have been more comfortable. It still would be terrible to drop like that, but I think more comfortable. It'd be just more interesting, more intimate of a setting with us being able to see him interact with his family and all that stuff, and not just have the camera focused on him and him trying not to look upset. And she's still trying to look upset, but I just really liked that part of the draft, of the intimacy and the relaxed nature of it. And, it wasn't such a big show. I do like the show part, but I also like the intimate part. And I really do think that Roger Goodell is going to take that and move that forward into next year's draft and the years coming. That I don't think there's going to be as many players at the draft. I think there's going to be a lot of players at home with their families, and we can talk to them that way and watch their reactions, because you get cameras everywhere. And like I said, we went through Y2J and nothing happened. And we went through this and nothing happened. So technology is at a point now where you can do almost anything. I mean, I'm literally in my basement doing a show that you guys watch. So, I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with technology now. So anyway, the other thing, the Roger Goodell, I liked the relaxed Roger. I did like that. Some of when they started booing him at the beginning, that was kind of funny. But then he kept turning around, talking to the screen with the fans in there and stuff. And okay, after a while, I got a little redundant. But then I did like it when he was sitting there in his chair and ran out of M&Ms. And, that part was cool too. And I actually would rather, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel that he announced more players getting drafted than he would normally. Because I think he just does the first two rounds. And I know he did the third round. I didn't see anybody else doing it until, I think, Sunday. So I like that, too, that he was actually doing it. And if he doesn't want to do it from, Vegas or like next year's in Cleveland, if he doesn't want to stay there in a suit and he wants to go home or go to his hotel room, go for it. That's fine, It's day 2. It's more relaxed. It's, just an idea. I don't know. Anyway, what's your guys' thoughts about how the draft went and how it might look moving forward? All right, now, if you guys are like me, I'm dying for baseball right now. We're supposed to be a month into the season. Well, we're not. So, baseball, I got this article from ESPN of the possibility of when they're going to play it. and how it might look and what's going to happen. All right, so let's get to this article. When baseball starts, Rob Manfred told the employees, managers, coaches, scouts, and other non-players that he planned to suspend the contract this Friday that allows teams to not pay them if they desire. Meaning, basically, they're supposed to pay him right now. And because there's nothing going on, so he set a contract that they have to pay them to keep them, going. And nearly every team has guaranteed baseball operation employees payment through May 31st. So that's ending here very soon. So with that happening, that means to me, they got to get the ball rolling. There's states opening up. Things are going to start happening, so you got to start getting your plan. So these are all the three plans that I've heard. So it's kind of my thoughts and some of this ESPN article. All right, number one. The first one they said was play all the games in Arizona. I was fine with that. I'm fine with anything. I just want baseball. Okay, the next one is, I heard, was Arizona, Texas, Florida. Now, this is the one that is more likely to happen because it's probably, even if they start planning now, it's a lot of logistics, to figure out the teams, how they're going to get there, who's going to play where, who's going to, So anyway, this is the one I think is more going to happen is you got Arizona, Georgia, Florida, Texas, Colorado, Minnesota to have their stay-at-home restrictions lifted in early May. Those states, I think, is going to be where we can play. Because the thing is, you can't, like New York is probably like one of the last, there might not be a baseball game played in New York this year. There might not be. So they're going to have to play in different sites and stuff like that. And then probably not going to play with fans, which, again, it would suck, but I don't care. And somebody said, well, they're not going to do that because they're not going to make any money. It'll be on TV. They have this thing called commercials they put on TV. People who want the commercials pay baseball to put it on. So yes, baseball will make money. They might make more money because nobody can go to the game. The only way you can go is watch it on TV. Okay. So this is more from the ESPN article. Okay, if you finalize the plan in May, hash it out, and an agreement with the players by the end of May, early June. All right. Say it takes a month to figure all this out, which it could. You got 32 teams. You only got 4 or 5 states. It's a lot of planning and figure out how to get the players there, in and out, and do it all safe. So, all right. So you're looking at into May, early June. Hopefully this plan is hashed out. So then you give the players a week to arrive. It says you give them 3 weeks to prepare because you're going to have to give them a pretty good amount to start, especially the pitchers, because spring training was almost done. We were like, 2 weeks, week and a half from opening day? So, especially the pitchers, they're going to have to start all over again. I mean, hopefully they're throwing, but I don't know how much they could throw or, if they're at their house, what they have there. It's a lot different. So, they basically have to start from scratch again. All right. So, say the season starts in July. You play 80 to 100 games. And then the season goes from July, August, September, and October. Now, this is the part that I don't like because I think Rob Manfred is going to throw this in there for future stuff. But they would hold an expanded playoff in a warm weather neutral site facilities in November. Now, I don't like this because this sets a precedent of expanding the playoffs. Now, I know everybody has expanded playoffs, but there's a lot of teams in the NBA, in the NHL, that don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So, I don't know how. I'm afraid Rob Manfred will make this a part of baseball moving forward. The other problem is, if it's a regular baseball season, you play 162 games, how are you going to fit all the playoff games in October? You will have to go into November. And then the problem we're having is cold weather and snow. And so I understand sort of because it'd be a shortened season, but that's life. And if the if the Reds don't make the playoffs because of the short season, it's going to suck because it happened before. A strike shortened season of 81, we had the best record in baseball when you combine both seasons. We didn't make the playoffs. So it's happened before. It's not fair, but, hey, life ain't fair. I would just rather them keep the playoffs the way they are with only the 80 to 100 game season instead of expanding it. Because I just don't want expanded playoffs moving forward. That's just me. What are you guys' thoughts on it? You can message me down below. And so, anyway, basically it looks like July baseball. I would hope so by then. I mean, sheesh, that's 2 months from now almost. I mean, it's almost May. I would hope we'd have baseball by then, but we'll see. But until then, I'll tell you about my Facebook groups that I help run. We got Bengals Nation, Reds Country, Bearcats Country, and like I said, our new one, Cyclones Country. Now, my YouTube subscribers, you guys are awesome. I am up to 417 subscribers. Let's get that to 500 as fast as we can. I've enjoyed all of your comments. You guys are great. I can't believe how many people comment on what I'm saying. So, apparently you like me. If you're listening to me on the podcast, on Apple Podcasts, give me a 5-star review. If you're on any of the other ones, just like and subscribe and share. And other than that, sports, baby. Tell all your friends about me. See ya.